pictured controlling your smartphone without lifting a finger? Apple is about to make this dream a reality with mind control technology. Partnering with Synchron, Apple aims to let users control iPhones and iPads using brain signals by 2025. This groundbreaking development uses Synchron's Stentrode, a brain-computer interface implantable device. It's designed to help people with severe motor disabilities interact with their Apple devices through thought alone. Stentrode's unique approach involves a non-invasive installation with 16 electrodes that detect brain activity without open brain surgery. In contrast, companies like Neuralink are progressing towards more direct implantation with their N1 device, embedding over 1,000 electrodes into brain tissue for higher precision control. Excitingly, some participants have already managed to use Apple devices just by thinking. What do you think? Are we on the brink of a revolution in human tech interaction? Let us know in the comments.
Okay, so all you tech geeks out here, people that love their iPhone or iPad, Apple will reportedly release technology later this year that allows users to control devices using brain signals. Now let's take a look into this. Now, a category-defining brain-computer interface, BCI company, today, which was on May the 13th, announced it will be the first BCI company to achieve a native integration with BCI human interface device. Now, according to this marks a major milestone in accessibility and neurotechnology where users implanted, y'all hear this? Implanted with Synchron's BCI you can control your iPhone, your iPad, and Apple Vision Pro directly with their thoughts without the need for physical movement or voice commands. They did say implant, okay? All right, let's get back to the nature at hand. Now, with this announcement, the new protocol from Apple, BCI, HIT for short, neural interfaces, are now formally recognized as a native input category coming to Apple devices. Now, this advancement enables hands-free, voice-free digital access for individuals with motor impairments such as ALS, stroke, or spinal cord injury. I wonder if this would be for autism too, kids that are not nonverbal. Now, Synchron's BCI system will seamlessly integrate with Apple's built-in accessibility features, including switch control, giving users an intuitive way to use their devices, laying the foundation for a new generation of cognitive technologies. Cognitive input technologies. Now, this will give people new possibilities for people that are living with paralysis, and the sky's the limit. Now, will this be for people like you and I? Maybe they just open it up for people who have physical disabilities that affect their way to communicate and things of that nature. But y'all do know this is just the gateway to this, right? Now, according to this, the Synchron Stentrode is a stent-like device, and it's inserted through a jugular vein and positioned in a blood vessel near the brain's motor cortex. Now, this approach avoids open brain surgery, and the device then reads brain signals and translate them into commands for Apple devices. Now, they did say it was through the jugular vein. Now, that look like that's about up there at the jugular vein. Y'all see internal jugular vein? And that's inputted into that area. Now, the internal jugular vein is a major pathway for venous drainage from the brain, including the motor cortex. Now, a minimally invasive procedure can implant brain chips like Synchron's Stentrode system into a motor cortex via the jugular vein. Now, this approach utilizes the blood vessels for less invasive surgical route. Now, this particular method avoids the need for open brain surgery, making it less invasive procedure. Now, we went through all of this. I don't know. Does this still sound like something that you would do? I don't know. Maybe if I've had a stroke or if I have ALS or something of that nature, maybe I would look into this so I could communicate. But if I can control my Apple device, who could control me? Now, you all know this is just something for people with disabilities now, and it's supposed to come out later this year. But this could possibly be something that is for the rest of the public. Now, y'all know what they say. They used to say, what's the mark of the beast? And what's this little chip they gonna input? This the last days? Is this it? Anyway, drop down in the comment area. Let me know what.
So Apple plans to introduce brain control on their devices later this year. Hey, that's crazy. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this. So Apple plans to introduce brain control on their devices later this year. Hey, that's crazy. Let me know in the comments.
This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 7. It says, So thou, O son of man, I set thee a watchman upon the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them from me. All right, shalom, shalom. I'm going to give all praises, infinite honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. I'm going to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do well. Peace and blessings to the house that they be let. All right, you seen the videos, all right, pertaining to Apple. Want to implement a brain chip to control the Apple devices, man. All right, and this is all going into the MOTB. All right, and we're the watchmen of the Israel to warn our people not to take this C-hip, because all this is leading to the MOTB, which if you get anything implanted into your brain or in your your hand or any part of your body, people like to make market. What do we get in our butt cheek and all that stuff? All right, it don't matter where you get it at. All right, if you get it, hey, you're gonna be destroyed, and we're gonna get the scriptures. All right, so just straight into the point. This is Revelations chapter 13, verse 14. It says, and he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. All right, and you seen it. They were saying, it's for those who have disabilities such as ALS and things of that nature, to where they could use their devices, control their devices through their brain, and those are part of Esau's miracles. All right, it says, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on earth that they should make a image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Verse 16, the point, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that have the understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. So, we coming into a time, Esau's putting out this technology, all right, to where it's not mandatory yet, but soon it will be mandatory. Okay, these things are more voluntary now, but he's putting it out there. Okay, so when when that FF event comes, his system is already set up to where he can enforce a mandatory implementation of this thing, man. All right, so I want to get in Revelations in that same chapter 13:16. That word for mark. All right.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma.
Charagma. All right. Charagma. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. It says of a mark or a stamp on the forehead, on the right hand, as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right, and we know that's just the Antichrist. Those are just, non-followers of the heavenly of Yahweh Shai. All right, because the scriptures say there are many antichrists, but no, it's a badge of followers of the so-called the devil. Satan, Esau, Edom. All right, because what you're doing is you showing your allegiance and your alliance to this system. All right, that's why it says those who worship the beast in his image. All right, you worship in this system. All right, and ultimately you're making yourself a creation of Esau, Edom. All right, because the Lord didn't create humans to put foreign devices inside of them. So therefore, when you take that, you're unrecognizable to the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son. All right. It says they mark branded upon horses, things craved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous idols. All right. And I want to get the root word for that. Let me see. Karats.
Strong's G 5482. Charaks.
Karats.
Charaks.
It says a pale or stake, a palisade. It says a palisade or a rampart. It says pale between the which earth, stones, trees, and timber and help pat together. But the point is a pale or stake, and I believe that goes into like an incision, like something that you point into the skin. All right, so to speak. But yeah, that's what this thing is leading to. Okay, and the judgment for this, because in Revelation 17 it say that no man might bar or sell save he that has the mark, because that's what all this stuff is leading to. All right, everything is going to be functioning through that RFID chip. All right, you, in order to enter into the store, you're gonna have to have that device to buy, or if you want to sell, you're gonna have to have that device. That's what it's going to boil down to. And you got people on TikTok, they're waking up to this this type of knowledge, man. They waking up to this, and it's obvious and it's clear to see, because the what the prophecies are saying. So what these other Israelite camps are preaching, talking about it's sin, IUIC saying it's sin, all right, which don't make sense at all. How you gonna buy or sell unless you sin? All right, you got people already sinning. All right, none of that stuff makes sense. All right, it's literally the RFID chip, man. All right, point blank, period. All right, and this will be the judgment for those who take it. All right, Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And that smoke of their torment ascend up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. Right? Because ultimately, when that lake of fire, which would be caused by that the nuclear destruction, all right, and it says forever and ever, which we know that goes into a period of time. The Lord could slow down the time of that judgment and just have you tormented, and it could feel like forever, man. All right, so that's a fearful thing. All right, and you're not supposed to take that whatsoever. All right, the scriptures speak about whosoever shall save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall find it. All right, because when it boils down to it, which is the hour of temptation, which when this thing will be implemented mandatorily upon the earth. All right, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. It's in Revelations 3:10 and 2:10. Yep, Revelations 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, and that's the main temptation, is taking that that RFID chip in the times of Jacob's trouble. All right, because you will be tempted when there is no food. All right, you have to, in order to function in the society, you will have to have that MOTB, all right, to buy and sell, all right. How you eat by buying food, or you sell food, to feed your family. But it's gonna come a time to where if you don't have that device, you, matter of fact, it says you shall be killed, and we know that goes into either literally or you would be X'd out from society. Let's see if this definition's still there. Because I think last time I went into it, it wasn't there. But let's see.
Strong's G 615. Apoctino. Apoctino.
Apoctino says to kill in any way, whatever, to destroy, to allow to perish. Let me see what the root words say. It says of separation, of local separation, after verb or motion from a place, i.e. departing or fleeing. A separation of a part of a whole, where of a whole some part is taken. It says of any kind of separation of one thing from another by which the union or fellowship of two is destroyed. It says a state of separation that is distant. It says physical, of distance of place, temporal, of distance of time, of the place whence anything is, come, befalls, or taken. So a separation from society. All right, you're gonna be separated from the rest of society. So you can be killed in that way, or literally killed. Which those would is written that some would be martyrs. All right, martyrs for not taking the MOTB. All right, this is and I didn't even have this. I'm just going with the spirit. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 16 verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. They shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols, right? Because that MOTB is an idol, all right? Idol to worship the image of the image of the beast, which is this system, all right? That Esau Edom is setting up, which will be his NWO, his New World Order, all right? It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot, right? You're going to be made mockery, all right? Because, hey, Esau know what this thing is, all right? And if you conform to it, hey, you're going to be had in derision and trodden underfoot, all right? I can read the rest of this, but it says, for there shall be in every place and in that city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And who are those that fear the Lord? The Israelites, man. All right. So we coming in these times where all hell's going to be breaking loose. Jacob's trouble, and Esau Edom knows this is the end of his society. That's why he's speeding this whole this technology up, man. He's speeding up with his with his agenda, because we know that he wants everything established by 2030. All right, and that's how you know we're closer to these times. So let me finish over here. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So he put these things out there like they're beneficial, or it's gonna help the sick and those who have disabilities. But we're not ignorant of his devices, man, because we know what this leads to, okay, which I just read previously. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11 in the New Living Translation. It says so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. And this is an evil scheme of Esau Edom to devour and subject you, so-called, because the main focus is you Israelites. He want to chip and put you Israelites into a digital slavery, captivity. All right, and we know it's a sinister part to this, to where he's going to be able to control your brain, your thoughts, your movements, everything. And that's a terrible thing. Matter of fact, it was a movie on Tubi a couple years back. It was called Implant. I'm not sure if it's still up there. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull this trailer real quick, man. Yep. Here it go.
This theater doesn't have any real fruit soda, so I'm sneaking it
Oh,
in.
one of them copyright. Is what it is.
Let's now back online.
Good morning, Sarah. I need to create a clinical profile for you, Sarah. Which is more powerful, love or hate?
I am actually an optimist, so I like to think love.
Make efforts to live a low-stress lifestyle and cultivate relationships.
Yeah. You want to throw in a boyfriend too?
If you help me, I will take care of you.
Hey, don't that sound like Siri, right? That sound like Siri.
You're now under my control. Go to 47 West 13th Street. If the scientist doesn't comply, you must kill her. Well then, Sarah. I always get what I want. I have you under my control, don't I?
I've been doing what you asked me to do since day one.
You destroyed my life.
I haven't destroyed it yet, Sarah. There are things I could do. To your mother.
Oh, Commander, she dies.
People like you build monsters.
So yeah, and we know that Esau like to put things in his movies because it's something called predictive programming predictive programming. It says predictive programming in the context of computer science and artificial intelligence refers to development of software that learns and improves its decision-making capable. Man. It's not a definition I want. Let's see. But yeah, it's called predictive programming, man. He tell you, and it's another term for it too. I can't remember, but hey, man, he show you these things before, they do it because they get revelation of the method. Let me see, see what that is. Revelation. Man, this shit being a demon. Let's talk bringing up some math, man. But you could look these terms up, man. I don't know what's going on, but revelation of the method, man. You can do some research on that. All right, but that's Esau, showing his his future plans, man. But yeah, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab one more precept. This is Revelations chapter 16. Verse 1, it says, "And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon earth. And the first went and poured out his vials upon the earth, and there fell a gruesome and grievous sores upon men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. It says, and the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. All right. And that point that I want to get it was that grievous sore. All right. And I think when you go into a grievous sore, that goes into some type of cancer. All right. Because it's a foreign device into your flesh. All right. Let's see. Let's see. It says a womb, especially a womb producing a discharge, pus, a sore, and usular, whatever that is. But it's like a cancer. Let me see. Yeah, but I think it's like a cancer, man. But hey, that's gonna be the judgment, man. Because why would you want to put a foreign device into your flesh, man, and just be walking around with it, and it's just there, all right? You know, it'll be weird, man. You know, so you should automatically deny this when it comes, man. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory again to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Again, double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone who do well. Peace and blessings.